All right, what's going on, YouTube? I just wanted to do a quick post-fight review of the fight tonight between Oscar Valdez and Robson Conceicao. Okay, Valdez won the decision. I thought the decision was a little too wide, 117-110. It seems like it's the magic number for robberies this year. We've been getting a lot of 117-110, 117-111 type of cards this year, and they just seem like they're pre-written cards. I don't know how you can judge this fight and only give Conceicao 2 rounds out of the first 6 rounds. It's just ridiculous. He definitely slowed down, and I'm not mad if you gave it to Oscar Valdez. I thought it could have been 6-6, 7-5 either way for me. I would have been fine either way with that. I don't think this was a clear robbery or anything like that because I think you could really go either way. Robson gave a lot of rounds up, even though he was ahead early to me. I gave him 4 out of the first 6 rounds. I think he was pretty much ahead early, and then he slowed down dramatically in the second half. He kind of abandoned his game plan when he was at his peak. He totally abandoned that. Oscar Valdez kept putting the pressure on him, and he won the fight. I don't think it was clear. I think it's not. Obviously, I think it could have gone either way. But the 117-110 makes it a robbery, and I've been consistent with this all year round. Listen, if a fight is close and majority of us believe that it's either a draw or one guy won over the other, when you have a wide scorecard on there, as wide as this judge had it, it turns straight into a robbery because there's a scorecard that just doesn't belong at all. That's just too wide for me. Giving the guy 3 rounds out of the whole fight, it's just a big extreme for me. All right, not the worst robbery in the world. This is not something I'm going to be complaining about down the line. I think all the drama really had to do with the failed drug test, right? The herbal tea. But listen, it's over. I thought it was a good fight. I think Robson early on was boxing very well, using his height and reach as advantage, working behind his jab, all right, and maintaining the distance, moving well and just staying out of danger for the most part. There were times where Oscar was stepping in and landing some good shots early on, but the pressure, the relentless pressure that he put on, it was definitely very effective, and he was able to pick up the rounds in the second half of the fight. All right, I think there was one swing round in the second half. Can't remember which round it was, but it was one swing round I had in there that I gave to Oscar. So I scored it pretty much a draw. You had the point that was taken away, it was deducted away from Robson because of the tapping on the back of his head, which I thought was a little unfair. I thought that was a little bit extreme, especially due to the fact that Valdez was actually punching Robson in the back of the head in the very next round, or maybe it was the round after that. But regardless, I thought the point that was deducted was unnecessary, but at least it wasn't the determining factor of the fight. It didn't cause the outcome of the fight. It wasn't that. So it is over. I wasn't really giving much attention to this fight because of the drama behind it. But Oscar Valdez maintains his title up at 130. So I would love to see him fight. I would love to see him fight the winner of Jamel Herring and Shakur Stevenson. That would be great. He brought it up at the end of his fight tonight. I know a lot of people were tweeting. I saw Lamont Roach Jr. tweet about him, beating Oscar with that performance. I see Jamel Herring as well reacted, and some other fighters that don't even fight in the division reacted. A lot of people reacted to the fight. It wasn't a good performance for Oscar Valdez, being that he was such a favorite. This fight was a lot tougher than some of his previous fights, So especially the look on his face. His face was pretty battered. It looked a lot worse than Conceicao's face looked. But it wasn't a great performance, but Oscar did what he had to do, and he won the fight. And that's all I'm really asking for at this point. I just want him to unify. With the winner of Herring and Shakur Stevenson. I'll be great with that. At that point, if Herring wins the fight, he would have proven himself plenty of time. I think he's a 2-time champ. I don't know if he's a 1-time or 2-time. I know he lost, but Herring has been around for a while. He's at the tail end of his career. He's just coming off his biggest win. And if he is to beat Shakur Stevenson, that would be a great win. That might even be a bigger win, against Carl Frampton. I know Carl Frampton is more proven, has a bigger name, but, he would be beating a prime Shakur Stevenson, undefeated Shakur Stevenson. And if Shakur wins, I think at that point he'll be a champion, and he'll be a worthy adversary for Oscar Valdez. All right, and we'll get a unification match. So I really want to see it. The fight should be easy to make. They're all fighting on ESPN, so it shouldn't be an issue. And that's all. That's all I really gotta say, man. I'm not gonna keep it. I'm not gonna drag it. I think again, a fight. The fight itself wasn't a robbery. I'm not mad at the outcome of who won the fight. I'm not mad at the decision. I called it before the end of the fight. If you follow me on Twitter, I said, this is not a robbery. Conceicao, I think he gave it up. Regardless of how I scored it, me scoring it is different from what the public is going to view it. The judges are going to view it. Even Andre Ward's unofficial scorecard was a lot different from the way I had it scored. All right, so I knew that Conceicao didn't do enough to win and become champion, But 117-110 is ridiculous, and that makes it a robbery in the sense that this judge basically gave any kind of round that, I don't know. I think every time Oscar landed a punch at all, he pretty much gave him a round. It was just, I don't know how you give a guy like that 117 in that performance like that. How do you give a guy only 3 rounds, especially in the first half? The first half only giving him 2 rounds. Those was his best rounds. Oscar was not winning the first half of this fight. He wasn't. All right, but it is what it is, man. It's not the end of the world. I think all the drama, the real drama, is the PD, the test, the belt, and I think that's bigger than the actual scorecards, in my opinion, or the outcome of this fight. All right, but listen, I think I covered all areas, man, and want to move on. We're not going to stick around with this Oscar Valdez thing. We've been talking about it all week. It's over. The WBC didn't do their part, in my opinion, on stripping him as they should have, as they normally would. But, hopefully this will be the end of it, and this is going to be something, that follows Oscar for the rest of his career. People will always bring this up. People are not going to give him a pass for this. It is what it is. All right. And people brought up Canelo and the whole camp. It is what it is. This is what happens when people fail. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, man. I'll see you guys on the next one, man. I'm out of here. Have a good night. Peace.